Laser eject operation channel intro.
Hello fellow YouTubers, Lego WC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And today I'm looking at Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise, Voyager class, Skyquake. Yes, I was able to find this figure. One that's relatively rare. At least in the US, I'm pretty sure he never really hit US retail. So there he is in his jet mode. There he is right there. Advertised light up pulse cannon. There's some artwork of him on the side. There is in robot mode and vehicle mode. He comes with a sword and the weapon, which I'm not really a big fan of the weapon unless I can find a way to lock it. But it doesn't matter, I'm probably going to find some 3D printed ones for him or something instead. Description, it says, buried for ages, sealed in a state of low function that was not quite stasis lock, Skyquake waited for the day his Lord Megatron might need him. He has the power to shake the very world to its foundation. The Autobots will learn to feel terror once again at the hands of Skyquake. Yeah, quite a bio for a character who died in the episode he debuted in. See, on the bottom, it shows Thundertron, who I may or may not get someday. He never appeared in the show, but... So, rare figure. Mint in box. Never been opened. Well, let's go and get him out. Alright. There he is. So, let's get into it. Okay, so here's Skyquake in his jet mode. And this jet mode was always kind of a mixed bag for me. Looks pretty good on top, aside from the hands on the back. Hands on the back are pretty bad. But then on the side and underneath, it just doesn't look that great. I mean, look at this part right here. That just looks so off. Like, how on earth is this thing going to fly? The coloration is pretty nice, though. He's got silver Decepticon symbols. He's got some red right here and here. Nice painted silver section right here. He's got a nice red cockpit. Nose cone is rubber, which I don't really mind. And he's got rubber parts, which thankfully aren't really warped too bad, because of course this guy was sealed. Not like with the Dreadwing I got, which was loose. And since I actually have the accessories on this one, and I guess you can put them underneath, but I mean, you can't keep this stupid gun locked, so that's kind of pointless. And he does have his sword here, which you can peg on there. So, obviously, it's not really my preference for storage, but I always appreciate it when they try to implement it somehow. So comparison, here he is with his brother. And even though we never saw them side by side in the show, I think they look really nice together. In terms of paint apps, there isn't really anything that's like absent on on either of them. So, pretty nice. Now, I'm not going to show the transformation. If you do want to see the transformation, watch the Dreadwing review. So, I'll go ahead and get this guy transformed and be right back. So, without a doubt, the best thing about this figure is the robot mode. Taking a look at the head sculpt, the paint apps are way better than on Dreadwing. Like, they couldn't even be bothered to do any gold highlights on his head crest right here, or eyebrows. Here they got a nice silver to them, and they have red on them. Why did they do such a good job with the paint apps on this figure than they did with the character who was actually had more time in the show? It was throughout the second season. And then this guy was in technically 2 episodes. If you count his zombie form anyway. Which I don't think they ever made a figure of. But yeah, he does look pretty nice in terms of the sculpt and paint work. Now these aren't painted, which I'll have to look at the animation model later and see how close they actually look. But yeah, I do think he looks really nice. Now for his accessories, he comes with this sword, which I do think is pretty nice. I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger. Like I said, I'll probably end up just getting 3D printed weapons for both of these guys one of these days, but I think the sword's alright. This gun is an abomination. I don't know how these weapons ever got approved back in the day. These stupid mech tech weapons, I don't like them at all. Because like when they fold out, see, they light up. It looks fine when it's lit up, when it's extended, but you can't lock it like this. I mean, I'm sure there is some sort of way, but I'm pretty sure that it actually requires like you changing some things about it. So, sword is nice. Gun is garbage. So here he is with Dreadwing. And again, they look really nice together. Again, they have about the same, both of them had the same amount of paint apps aside from on the head. They just did such a better job with the paint apps on Skyquake. Which still just kind of frustrates me, to be honest. I would rather they skimped out on him than Dreadwing. Because Dreadwing's one of my favorite characters from the show. I mean, I think Skyquake is cool also, but we didn't really know him that well. Now, I didn't cover the articulation on Dreadwing, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Head is on a ball joint, which gets some decent movement. You can look side to side, kind of tilt side to side, and then, yeah, it doesn't really lock into place. Shoulders, I mean, they're going to collide with these right here, but move it out of the way, you get a full 360. You actually kind of get some up and down movement on it, which is pretty nice. You get a bicep swivel. You get an elbow bend, which pulls off a little bit more than a 90, but be careful because the elbow joint is made out of translucent plastic. The hands rotate. Nothing in the waist because of how the transformation works. Legs can kick forward that far and back that far, which is pretty nice. You can go out to the side. You get a thigh swivel. You get a knee bend. And you get some up and down movement on the feet. So, articulation, I mean, we've seen better even at this time, but it's still pretty good. I still think it holds up fairly well. Interestingly enough, we're actually going to be getting a Skyquake based on this design in Legacy next year, apparently. And I'm excited to see what that looks like. And I'm sure they'll do a Dreadwing repaint. So that should be interesting. But otherwise, I think that pretty much covers this figure. Can't really think of what else to talk about. So, I'll go ahead and stick him on the display. Okay, so there's Skyquake with my Prime Decepticons. So, in terms of if I recommend this figure, this is a little bit of a tough one because, well, I do think it's a good figure. I don't think it's an excellent figure. And it's based on a character who really only appeared in 2 episodes. And this guy isn't cheap. I mean, I was able to get him sealed for 100, but when I looked him up on eBay, he went for like 200 sealed. Now, I have seen a couple of this guy loose go for like $50, which isn't too bad. I think that would be an okay price to pay. But figure itself, most of the problems with Dreadwing are still here. Jet mode isn't that great. It's definitely not the worst jet mode I've ever seen, but it still could be better. Transformation, it's annoying. I don't really like the transformation. Robot mode is the best part. He's got decent posability. He looks really nice, and as I said, the paint on the head is so much better than Dreadwing. I'm still pretty ticked off about that. Sword is a nice inclusion. Gun is trash. I hate it. I'm probably going to stick it in a box or something like that. I don't like it at all. So, yeah, if you can find this guy for a decent price and you're a Prime completionist like me, I mean, I can see why some people wouldn't really care too much about getting a character who's in 2 episodes, but Prime, with all its flaws, is like my favorite TV show ever made, so I had to get this. So, yeah, kind of hard to say if I recommend it. Again, it kind of depends how much you love the show or how interested you are in this figure. So, I hope that helps. And also if you can find him for a good price. He's not worth $200, I'll just tell you that. But that's what I think of the figure. As always, please be sure to comment down below what you think of it. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless.